is 6:01 on February 19th. Thanks for being here for the February 18th meeting. I had okay. Thanks, Ellen. Thanks for being here. I had a quick addition to the agenda that I would like considered. So we need to have a motion and a second and a vote to amend the agenda. But it would be for the sponsorship letter for the Eco Heroes donation request that we're making that we send out to different businesses and organizations here in town. But it is a letter that we would send out on behalf of the EP, and so we need to have all y'all's approval before we get that out to the world. Rachel, were you able to add that to an updated packet, or shall I?
I added it to an updated packet, so I will share my screen shortly, and so it'll be up there. It is on the packet online as one of the packet addendums. And I did see Adam's comment that he is having harder trouble hearing than what he thought he would. So would there be a volunteer for being a secretary tonight?
Can give it a shot.
Yes, other Adam.
Other Adam can do it. Okay, sorry to
I apologize in advance. We'll see how it goes.
Sorry to interrupt your introduction, Carrie.
No, that was perfect. Okay, so the idea is that we would vote on if this letter is suitable to send out to the world.
So you'll just need to motion and basically where you want to put it. I don't know if that's new business because you have to actually put it on the agenda somewhere.
Sounds good. So I would say I'd like to put it on the agenda under the Eco Heroes section of old business. So while we're doing the updates on everything else, that we would vote for the sponsorship letter at that point.
Second.
Okay. And I heard Carrie motion it first and then Matt. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So we'll do the roll for that. So Carrie Albright.
I vote yes.
Heidi Brown.
Yes.
Nadia Kane.
Yes.
Matt Caldy.
Yes.
Adam Fudiker.
I have to stop. What are we voting on?
We're voting to consider voting on this sponsorship letter.
Yes.
Adam Martinez.
Yes.
Mitchell Owens.
Yes. Eco Heroes.
Perfect.
Motion passes to modify the agenda.
Thank you much.
To the agenda.
All right. Okay. Well, then now that we've got that out of the way, we can go ahead and go through our roll call and get things moving.
Okay. Heidi Brown.
Here.
Nadia Kane.
Here.
Matt Caldy.
Here.
Adam Fudiker.
Here.
Shannon Geik is absent. Adam Martinez.
Here. Mitchell
Owens.
Here.
And Carrie Albright.
I'm here.
Okay. And I'm Rachel Johnson.
Perfect. Thank you all for being here. I know the weather is getting a little scary out there, so thanks for making the trek in so that we can have a monthly meeting. Speaking of our monthly meetings, our January minutes have been shared, and at this time we would.
I move we approve the January 15th minutes.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, Matt and Nadia have definitively kicked us off for a vote.
Why would somebody not put it down?
If they don't agree with how things are represented in them.
Or if they weren't here, they can abstain.
You can go for them if you weren't here, like if you don't have the right for people.
Okay. Nadia Kane.
Yes.
Matt Caldy.
Yes.
Adam Fudiker.
Yes.
Adam Martinez.
Yes.
Mitchell Owens.
Yes.
Carrie Albright.
I vote yes.
Heidi Brown.
Yeah.
Motion
Perfect.
passes.
Thank you so much. You know, while we're voting, I'd love to suggest that we consider our special EC meeting that we had last month where we came in to vote on the ECPC memo. We did a quick gathering here and there was a set of minutes that covered that conversation. They were quite brief because the meeting was quite brief as well. So I'd love to consider voting to approve those minutes.
So moved. Second.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Mitchell.
Okay. Adam Fudiker.
Yes.
Adam Martinez.
Yes.
Mitchell Owens.
Yes.
Carrie Albright.
I vote yes.
Heidi Brown,
Yes.
Nadia Kane,
Yes.
and Matt Caldy.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much for being active members of our commission. All right, so now we are on to public comment. We actually have a handful of members of the public here, so I would love to give the folks in the room a chance to introduce themselves. And you have up to 5 minutes to share if you've got something, and then we have somebody online as well. Sure. Hey.
Hi, my name is James Ford. I just wanted to share with the group what happened at the tree commission on Monday. I see that there's no liaison here. I happen to be present for that meeting. So I just wanted to let you know that there was no quorum. They only had 3 people there, George Hageman, Stephanie and Julie. They spoke mostly about the North Grove project and the changes that were being considered at the time. That took up almost the entire hour. At the end of the meeting, they talked about the NDOT project at Pete Ellis and John Tinkle and Daisy Garden's house. I'm sure you're familiar with that. They did go over time, and that was basically the entire meeting.
Great. Thank you so much for the updates on that, James. Great. All right. Carl, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Carl Geisler. I don't have a whole lot to comment on. Other than I did have an interview with interview committee. That's working its way through the process. So just here to listen and keep up to date with EC committee visits.
Perfect. Thank you for joining us. And then as far as folks online, we'd love to have you chime in and introduce yourself if you're comfortable with that.
Nicole, if you would like to speak, you'll probably have to raise your hand and I'll ask you to unmute if you'd like to introduce yourself. And Taylor Brown is one of the city attorneys. So he's not a member of the public, but as he's part of staff.
So sorry, very quick point of order. Nicole is actually the legal intern, so she's been hanging around. So technically, no members of the public online. Though Nicole is, of course, a welcome member of a public at large, but I digress.
Perfect. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm guessing you will have more to share as we get into our agenda, but thanks for joining and thanks members of the public for being here too. Well, I know that we've got some big items on our new business list, so I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Rachel and the folks that we have here to talk a little bit about some of the legal updates with the city.
Yeah,
And
so
again,
go ahead.
our allies right here, so yeah, anybody in the room, make sure to talk loudly.
So we have Jackie Scanlon who is the Assistant Director of Planning and Transportation. We have Inadina Casamanian and Taylor Brown, who are both attorneys who work in the city legal department. We have Nicole, who is also an intern in the city legal department. And then I believe, is Jennifer Crossley in the room?
Yes,
Jennifer Crossley is here. I believe she is a deputy clerk in the clerk's office. So I wanted to invite all of these city staff. I'm so sorry for the background noise. I wanted to invite the city staff because there had been some questions about just working group policies, the letter process with the previous ECPC letter that went to council earlier this month, the ability to produce memos, and also some accessibility questions. So the staff are here. If there are any pointed questions on any of those topics, I think that's what is top of mind for everybody, for staff members. But if there's anything else that might also be addressed by staff, you are welcome to ask it.
So
Is there?
Do you want me to do a little?
I'm like, I can totally go.
Yeah.
Because I just feel the heat. So again, as Rachel was mentioning, and some of y'all might know me because I've seen some of you in some of the interview committees. My name is Jennifer Crossley and I have been with the city for 4 years, but I have been in my current role as Deputy Clerk of Communications and Outreach for at least 1 year. And so what that entails is some of you all I'm not gonna assume everybody knows, so I'm gonna not do that, so I'm just gonna explain. There was a report that was done in the city a long time ago called the Novak report that kind of went through boards and commissions to kind of look at, how processes are happening. And it came from the idea that a position such as mine would be created. And the clerk's office already works in tandem with the council office for the council appointments. And so I am super nerdy, and that was me. I volunteered myself to the Tribune. I actually did more than that. I had some interview, and then I've been in it since December of 24, yes, because it's been a full year. And so what that basically entails is for the past year, I've been able to kind of talk to various staff members, I've spoken with legal, I've attended some of the commission meetings to kind of get a feel for how our boards and commissions have worked. And if I've not been in person, I've definitely watched cats because, as I mentioned, I'm a nerd and I like to watch cats as I work throughout the day. It helps my brain go by so much faster. So that being said, I have heard just in general and kind of going through all of the commissions and boards and whatnot. There's some concerns that some of y'all might have with what's your role and what is the mission of the commission and how your role as a commissioner play into that. And I get that. I completely understand. Some of y'all probably have not had like a true onboard experience of, hey, now you're on this commission, now what is expected of me, you probably got an email from either office of the mayor or myself that says, hey, you've been appointed for, XYZ, and here's this information. So the idea is after a whole year of being in here, I've been working with folks in legal such as Taylor and other people to come up with a boards and commission kind of training. And so right now, we're in the process of trying to finalize that. But the idea is to have staff liaisons go through that training first, to make sure they know what is expected of them in their role and how they play an integral part with you all as the liaison and the pipeline from the city to this commission or any board or commission for that matter. So once they go through that training, then you all will go through, as commissioners, will go through your training. And so all of this is still to be determined. We're still finalizing things. And again, as I mentioned, the idea is to have staff go through it first. You might have heard last night at the council meeting that there was something also called the Code of Conduct. And that is something that will also be released in our training so that, you already know when we have that onboard process. And this is something that we expect to have everybody go through annually, is to have, an expectation of, what it means to represent the city. Like this is, what you should be doing and what we expect of you and what you should expect from your experience, because it's a big deal. In light of everything that's going on, you all are stepping up to the plate and wanting to do something, because right now everybody wants to do something, at least I hope. So with that being said, it's also been coming to our attention, specifically like kind of looking at some of the other boards and commissions. Some of you all have, or some of the boards and commissions have working groups. And there's this little fine line of like, what does that mean and who is supposed to be at these meetings? And my understanding from listening to some of the meetings and listening to some of the staff liaisons is that there's a lot of limbo of who's supposed to do what, like, and or can we have it, is staff supposed to be, and if that means, can it be recorded, is it not, all of those different things. And it seems like there's this yo-yo of yes, no, maybe so, when those different types of things. And I understand that it's frustrating to hear because, being on the receiving end and hearing people, I don't like when people are frustrated with that because I like to say communication is the key to my heart. And so if I can effectively communicate to the staff liaisons who can effectively communicate to you all, then I feel like I'm doing my job. But if we aren't communicating because things are just a little hairy, then we gotta do something that's better. So my idea, as Rachel had invited me to this meeting, is to kind of just, tell you all, here's the things that are coming down the pipe. And if there are suggestions or anything that you would like to give to me that I can take back and incorporate in our soon-to-be training that will be rolled out here soon, really soon. That's my goal. And I really want to be able to do that and do that effectively. Again, we're still kind of working out the process of working groups and we hope to have an answer for that soon. So once we know, we can effectively communicate that to the staff liaisons who can effectively communicate that with you all. But other than that, I know you all have a packed agenda and I don't want to take too much of time, but you know, if you have questions for me or suggestions, just you can email me and I can give you my contact information, or you can let me know now and I can take that back to the drawing board and work with the powers that be. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for sharing, Jennifer. So I know that there is kind of an open, what questions do we have generally for legal that is kind of a separate piece, but before we get into any of those questions, as far as what Jennifer shared specifically around the concept of training and all that, are there any specific questions or clarifications that folks want to ask while we have Jennifer in the room with us?
This is the training for all the boards, just like how to be on board,
Every single last board.
like Robert's Rules of Order, stuff.
Yes, yes, so that actually is a good thing, so that will, and talk about, what's the mission of a board or commission, and is the work that you're currently doing, how does that, are you doing the work? That, the mission entails you to do and what code is telling you, or telling you that is allowed for you all to do, but. Some people have a novice experience of board or Robert's Rules of Order. And that's okay, so we want to treat everybody as this is a brand new space. You are coming in and you might learn something if you think you know something about or Robert's rules, you might find out you didn't and we'll get trained on that. As other aspect of my life, I think I know all things about Robert's rules and then sometimes I don't, and it's fun for me to discover, but. So yes, so that is, of course, going through the code of conduct, expectations, of course, Robert's rules and other things. And actually, I'd like to do kind of like a tree branch of, who does what and stuff. So you can get an idea of, we don't, again, as I mentioned earlier, I don't want to assume everybody knows what everybody is supposed to do, but you might find that you might be able to work with other groups, yeah. So, so of course, if there's anything that you all think that you would like to know that you didn't get to know, again, I'm here now and you can definitely let me know, or you can send me an email.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see at the church on how the city's organized, the departments. I saw that online somewhere, but I can't remember where.
I have two specific logistical questions. Do you have a sense of how long the training will be? Like 1 hour, 20 minutes, 4 hours? Any sense of that?
Not as of right now. And so obviously we have over 40 boards and commissions. And that's a whole lot of people to go through and to take up a block of your time when also this is volunteer and you can get paid.
All the boards.
So,
touring.
yeah, that would be fantastic. But it's gonna take a little bit, but my idea is not to have it not like a whole day. Hopefully maybe a couple of hours if that. So, and of course, to give you all like a handout that you can have to reference because you don't have access to email or anything like that, but to give you all something to walk away. And of course, your staff liaisons would have this too, so if you lose it or misplace it and you just need it as a reference, it could come back to you too.
Do you have a sense of if it would be like rolling trainings every 12 months, there would be like one that everyone attends, or if it's like every month we do another one, and so if you're new, you go and you just have to do it once a year? Do you have a sense of that?
Honestly, I think right now the test is for everybody to do it just this one time, everybody. But, and this is something that we can try to work with legal, is maybe the idea too is any new person that comes in immediately after they come in, to really kind of maybe do like a batch of training for, anybody that came in from January through March. In April, like we will, get them in and do a board and commission training as soon as possible.
I was just thinking about if it does turn into we do it, twice a year and everyone goes at least, whatever, that we could consider that being, like, if we want to cancel a monthly meeting for whenever that training is gonna be required, that might be a good way to not overstretch our time and.
That's a good point.
there.
Yeah.
I take it it's not virtual then, the delivery?
I don't know, it's a little too early to tell, and I think just kind of like how you all have your meetings here and how the city does. I think for accessibility, and when things come up, I don't think we can say, and I'll look at the books that we do, that everything has to be in person only. So I think we would have to do a hybrid approach, but I see Taylor has to say.
Yeah, so we've actually been kind of experimenting on a couple of different things here, especially with accessibility and recording meetings and things like that. I've been doing a training kind of ad hoc for internal city staff about a couple of different things that people have asked about. And we've been kind of test piloting while we can about having digital access and things like that, especially because most commissions meet after hours. And like I am from home right now because Thursdays aren't usually my commission after hours days. I'm sorry, I can't be there. But we're testing a lot of these things. We're hoping that we actually can have a digital component, and which would make all the commissioners' lives easier, certainly. Or we do it like here's the live version, and we record that live version for dissemination to all who couldn't make it. And then we have, reach out to your liaisons for these staff members, ask Taylor for ODL questions, ask Anna for ethics questions, things like that. If that helped at all, Jennifer.
It did, thank you, appreciate it, thank you, Dave. So we're at 6:22, but what other questions do you all have? What are things that while we have, Jennifer and the legal team here,
Specific to the training or all legal questions?
is there any other training question?
I have one that's sort of both.
Yeah.
Would that,
Yeah.
everyone has to take it, so I'm assuming a quorum of members would even be there. Would that have to be signed and posted as a special meeting of every board and commission?
Repeat that one more time.
We've been told that if there is a quorum for any board and commission, something has to be posted the
notice.
minimum 2 days, and it has to be noticed, signed, et cetera, et cetera. If we were trying to train all the boards and commissions, not in phases, but at once, would those hoops have to be jumped through? It'd be a special meeting of all the boards and commissions, or is the training exempt from that?
I'm gonna look to the good folks at legal for that.
There is an exemption written into the open door law specifically for training regarding boards and commissions.
That's a good question.
I have a related question, and it may have been clarified since this happened, but when our commission had to take a memo that we'd written to the council to read it aloud at a meeting last month, I think it was, earlier this month. Anyway, so we're going to that, but we were informed that we could not have, because our subcommittees have a quorum of 2, because our subcommittees are so small, we have a quorum of 2 or 2 for the working group. We were not allowed to have 2 commissioners in the same council meeting at the same time, even if they were not co-presenting, like if one was just sitting there listening. So example, Matt went to the podium and read his memo. If I wanted to attend, because we're both on a subcommittee of the EC, that would be in violation of that.
We were informed that even if it was for different items, I mean, the other member who wanted to attend, Adam Martinez, who's online right now, was commenting on a different agenda item, but we were basically told we can't both be in council chambers because it is not noticed as a working group meeting.
And his wasn't related to these.
No, it's true, but even if it was, even if everyone as a private citizen wanting to listen or talk at a city council meeting, we were explicitly told that since working group meetings can function with 2 individuals, we can't do that. We can only have one person go to their city council meeting, and that didn't feel quite right because even if we all wanted to comment on the same thing, which wasn't what we were doing, I think we have every right to be at a city meeting.
Yeah, we weren't doing it as
Yeah,
commissioners.
we
There was
weren't
only one
speaking, we
commissioner.
weren't, right.
On behalf of the EC. So just kind of trying to clarify, like, how can we make sure that we're continuing to participate in our city's
So
activities?
to clarify, is that So you were speaking on behalf of the EC, but you were speaking in your own individual capacity?
One individual was there for the EC's memo, and then we had other individuals that were there for other things that they mentioned nothing about.
Another individual wanted to speak on the proposed closure of Kirkwood, but we were basically told we can't both be there. We kind of had to tag in, tag out of the room. Like
give-
Adam text
give
me as
some-
he leaves.
Sorry, Matt. Were you done? Just to give
Go
some
ahead.
additional context, Jennifer, and legal, the bylaws of the Environmental Commission say a working group has a quorum of 2 people. So that's where this quorum of a working group is coming from, is the bylaw specifically. And so since those 2 members were on the same working group, that's where a quorum would have been triggered. So I'll open it up to, I think probably Taylor Brown is who I'm guessing is going to answer the question, but I didn't know if anybody else had thoughts either.
So oh, sorry, no, please.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, I'd looked through the handbook on Indiana's public access laws and sort of, exemptions for open door laws that include chance encounters and which just isn't really, we both planned to be at the city council meeting, but we did so independently. Like, this was not an attempt to circumvent open door laws. And so it just seemed very curious to me that that we were advised to not both attend a city council meeting, even as citizens. So just looking for insight.
Sure. And I've chatted with Anadina a little bit about this, and she mentioned what she had previously talked about, and I agree with all of that. Yes, let me start with the baseline, right? Absolutely, we want civic engagement, right? We want you to go to your representatives. We want you to be actively engaged. I would not be working in government if that were not a belief of mine, right? However, the state legislature is nervous is an understatement regarding open door law potential circumventing. I don't know whose small town ticked off an Indiana senator, but one of the rules in open door law, I'm sure you saw in your review, was not even in the same room as council. If you're in the same room as a legislative body, you have to record your meetings and are subject to other open door law requirements, even just being in the same room. It can be frustrating, especially when you're trying to keep track of as many boards and commissions as we have. It can be, which is why you have the chance encounter language and other kind of safe harbor provisions in there. I believe there is a stipulation in open door law where it says if you both think you are going to be in a similar meeting, you can post a notice that says essentially there is a chance a quorum could be here. And you can address it that way. Again, if it's like, hey, this is a big deal and everyone wants to show up to a council meeting, which, hooray, please show up to a council meeting and express their views. There does need to be unfortunately, for state law reasons, there needs to be a notice that a quorum could be met, even if it is just a working group of 2.
So, I'm sorry, follow up, if that's okay.
Please.
Provided, say it's something that even a quorum of the full commission might attend, like everyone really wants to weigh in, it has a huge environmental impact, or if it's a different board and commission, whatever their purview is. Does it just have to be publicly noticed that a quorum could be there, or is it like technically considered a meeting of that body, even if we don't meet? Because I guess I'm worried about in that instance, like we all attend to give public comment to something. There's no expectation from the city that we have a memorandum or anything. Like, we were just people at a city council meeting. Like, I mean, I don't know. Am I making that concern sort of clear?
Yes. And Adina, I don't know if you wanted to chime in before or after.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Muted.
I don't know if she's muted actually, but we can't hear her.
Her laptop has been absolute horrid the last couple of days.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you yet.
Okay, I'll go ahead and answer this question while you're
Are you
troubleshooting.
typing in the chat?
So to answer your question, yes, just a special notice. The concern, looking at legislative history and kind of what they were thinking when they put this together, was they want to avoid like everyone shows up so in this hypothetical, right? Everyone shows up to a council meeting and you hear something and you go, oh, well, we got a quorum here, right? We have everybody here. Why don't we get together, have an agenda, vote on the thing real quick, and be done, right? Has happened before, unfortunately. And that has caused some headaches when the meeting wasn't noticed and there was no memorandum. And they said, oh, we voted on that right after the meeting because everyone was already there. And everyone went, I'm sorry, what? And we had to kind of backtrack a little bit. So I hate to say that some people ruined the fun for everyone. But I think it's a matter of just being above board and saying, hey, there is a chance a quorum will meet. Quorum will be here. We are not anticipating any business to be conducted. There are various ways to kind of encapsulate, like, we are showing up to talk to or to listen to the council and to do only that. We are not meeting. We are not voting on anything. Period. Right. Some notices can be done that way. Unfortunately, for when people ask for lawyers for advice, sometimes we really like black and white and we do not like gray areas. We like gray areas when they benefit us, right? But that's why everyone hates lawyers. So, does that answer your question?
Yeah, for the most part, I have additional follow-ups, but I can let someone else speak.
I think to just sort of summarize what you just said, the rotten part of it is that at some point there was a group that said, we're all together, let's quickly go through the process of going through a vote and make it happen and then done. And that could happen when we're all together talking about something and it turns into a bigger conversation. And that the idea is to prevent people from making those decisions. I think that's really frustrating that has happened, to make it so that this is such a pain for us to go through, but I think it makes sense. I think that I would like to make sure it's heard that, like, as an advisory board with no control, we do have a budget technically, but we do have to get our budget approved, but with no ability to create ordinances, for no ability to actually enact things at a city level in any way. It's super frustrating that we are just providing a service of information, connection to the community, advocacy for our environment. And it's so hard that I understand that we're being treated like other groups that may have much more power than we do. It's really, really hard. And it makes it hard for us to keep making all this time to be participating as much as we love it. And I appreciate what they're doing.
I do want to add quickly, you guys are in a unique situation because you have such a low quorum. So like most other boards and commissions don't have all of the subcommittees that you have, and they definitely don't have 2 people quorums. The only one I can think of, I mean, like, there are larger ones, like BZA, BPW, and Parks, and they do, like, if we know that more than one BZA member might go to like an open house or something that we're having, we post notice. Yeah. So you guys are in a similar situation, you just have a lot more of those groups.
Are there other commissions that have working groups? Like, are the quorums for those like 5 or 6 people? Like, do they have that many people involved in every single one?
Of group does. So, I think y'all have 6, and I think there might be other. I looked around at this, there's like a handful of other boards and commissions that have working groups. And they don't have nearly as many as you all have, some might have like 1 or 2. And then some of them are either stand-in working groups or like ad hoc work that, like, once something's done, you're done and there's no need to meet again. So I think, that's what some people do, as well. The other thing, to kind of give an example, like, I understand where you all are coming from, so to kind of put it from this perspective, you are technically like an extension of government through the city of Bloomington as a board or commission member. So I'm thinking of a recent example of, say, for example, in the city council, wanted to go to a meeting of the county council to go talk about something related to whatever. They wanted to do some type of collaboration. If the county, or if the city council all shows up and they have a quorum of people, even if it's not in their meeting, technically, it, like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Taylor and Adina. My understanding is you have to notice it because if you have a quorum of those members and there's some type of decision that's made, like by way of them being there, that could be a huge red flag and a huge no-no. So that's how I'm understanding that. Did I get that right? Okay, so therefore, you all like would you just think of yourselves as little mini council members. Because in my brain, that's kind of how I've had to work my thought process around this too, because I understand your frustration and I understand it's like, I'm just this little old me and I just want to participate. But you're so much bigger than that. And therefore, we just want to be able to protect you all. And also, of course, the city of Bloomington from anything where somebody thinks in a meeting, they've gone in and they've heard a decision and they knew by attending somewhere else, they heard you like, so that's a little sticky situation. And then, of course, you can also, and looking to the legal people here too, when you're speaking, and this is something that will be covered in boards and commission too, like, even if you are there, and like it's a quorum of people and you want to speak as an individual, you can just identify, I am speaking as an individual and not a member of any board or commission that I started. So that's also something, so.
Taylor, does that, if they do that and say, I'm here as a member of the public, not as a member of the EC, does that like remove them from the count towards quorum?
No.
No, I'm not sure. I just wanna make sure.
Unfortunately, it's like Superman. He doesn't stop being Superman just because he puts on the glasses. Yeah.
Make sure.
I know that Matt and I have gotten to chime in. I just want to take a quick minute for Adam or the other folks in the room. If you have any specific things that you want to add before we kind of keep the conversation going.
Can I say something?
Yeah, or comment.
I am, so can I say something totally off topic?
We're still talking to the legal team, so I would say if it's not related to this.
There might be a tornado warning imminently, so just everyone
Oh, right.
brace yourselves.
Uh-huh.
And it looks kind of like nasty, so we might want to
Okay.
like go downstairs. and
You
find
know,
out.
that's honestly.
Okay, is there, will we have an alarm go off?
Our phones will and make sure the sirens. This is pretty safe. I just don't want to like it come out of nowhere and then.
Adam said he's also watching.
Awesome, thanks, y'all.
Sorry.
No, that was an appropriate thing to do, for sure.
That would explain one.
Yes. Thank you for the safety warning.
It looks pretty nasty.
Other thoughts from other commissioners? Otherwise, I think Matt has a lot of follow-up.
Yeah, Mitchell, Adam, you got something you want to say before I ask a complicated question?
All my questions have been covered so far.
Okay, so I fully understand where legal is coming from on most of these points. Like I tried to review kind of the public access laws, I read Title II, I reread our handbook. I understand the mess, but I guess what I want to communicate to legal is that almost all of the stuff that we have come to is out of necessity because of different rules or advice from legal. I mean, if we were allowed, if Adam Martinez and I were allowed to send each other an email about light pollution, we wouldn't have to have a working group with a quorum of 2. Like we're backed into the corner we're in because of existing guidance we've been given or existing rules. So like we created the working groups with a quorum of 2 so that we could work on small issues outside of the whole commission.
Because we cannot send emails to each other.
So the thing that becomes a conflict, since we cannot communicate outside of meetings, we have been advised not to call each other, not to email each other, anything if it concerns in commission business.
Here we go.
We should go downstairs.
Okay.
We'll be back, maybe.
I motion we go downstairs.
Okay, we'll stay online. Thank you. Okay, I think we are coming back
Great.
on.
Awesome. Thank you for your help. Can you hear us
Can
okay?
you hear me? I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome, thank you so much. I was, as we come back to this at 7:23, I wanted to see if there's anything that anybody would like to say additionally. Otherwise, like I said, we can follow up via email, through Rachel, or if it's necessary, invite them back for another meeting. Any specifics that you would like to continue the conversation on before we move forward?
I think if it is possible for legal people's schedules, we would really appreciate having you back at our next meeting. That way we don't have to command any more of your night.
We lost an Adina. I will connect with Taylor and probably next week because I know Fridays can be busy. So we'll connect next week, Taylor, and figure out a time.
Sounds great.
All right.
Thanks, Taylor.
Yep. Thank you for legal for coming.
All right.
Glad everyone's safe.
Do we have any other non-legal members of the public online? I'm just asking for information.
Like, did we have anybody join us since we were out?
It'd be weird, I'm just asking.
No.
No,
we did-
I think
we
we
did
can
not.
see everybody on here. Great, okay. Well, then moving into the next stage of our agenda. There's a couple different notes about our handbook. And one topic that I wanted to bring up specifically that Matt will talk about something else is about our need, how we handle voting on things. And so I'm glad that legal is here, if you don't mind being here. Consider when we are writing ECPC memos, which are on, as we all know, a very, 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 very short turnaround with getting information, sitting down to write a memo, getting that memo out and approved, and then being able to share that memo with like the DA packet or the plan commission packet or the council packet. Being able to vote to approve submitting that memo is something that I'm mindful is a very tricky thing, and it's asking a lot of our commission to have an emergency meeting. So I wanted to put that out there for any conversation about thoughts on that. And also see if, according to legal, if there are any ways that we can potentially approve variations of like a final version versus draft version. So as far as the topic that I'm talking about, does that make sense with folks?
I need clarification. Can you say it once again?
Yeah, so we have the ECPC memos that the ECPC will write if there is something that is being proposed as like a variance through the planning commission or the Bureau of Zoning Appeals. We'll sit down with whatever that request is. We'll talk about environmental considerations. And then if we think it's something that's important to be heard, because we think that variance is actually bad for environmental purposes or has opportunity for something else, environmental impact, we might write a letter that would then hopefully be considered by that board or the commission who are potentially granting those variations. But the question is really, if we write that memo, the ECPC, at this time, we have to vote on it as a commission to approve it. But because of the timing of when the BZA meets or when the planning commission meets, sometimes there's not a meeting for us to vote on. We'd have to come here like we did this last month to vote on it. So I wanted to put that in front of folks for consideration, because I don't know how frequently we'll have these memos, but it is certainly another ask of our team to do something that is requiring time, especially because we currently only have 8 appointed members. So it's like everybody. So wanted to see if it's worth exploring any kind of like draft or framework that could be approved in advance versus voting on the final version. And that might be a legal question. Do you all have thoughts on that, or does that sound like something that's worth entertaining? Or are you okay with how we have things right now? Just totally okay too.
Do any of the other boards or commissions make recommendations regarding variances?
I don't believe so, because because we're through the planning and transportation department, I think that's why we have so much of the information from Rachel, who's the environmental planner. I don't know if other commissions get access to that, or if that's something that they would.
They could, but yeah, it would be very unlikely for another commission to weigh in on a variance request. It's possible, like, for example, if the request was related to, like pedestrian facilities or something, the transportation commission might weigh in. They are also through partially through the department, they're through here as well. But I would say most commonly, no, we don't engage in any other boards of commissions.
Do you all have thoughts on the idea of final memo approval versus anything before that final version being ready?
I think if the nature of the document doesn't change from the draft to the final version, seems like we could consider accepting approval on a draft.
On a draft?
Do you agree? I mean, so in a draft, so I'm trying to understand what's happening. So there has to be an approval by the ECPC, and I'm not on the ECPC, but there has to be an approval by the ECPC on a draft, right?
They would, yeah, the ECPC would write the draft.
And the question is, does there have to be an approval on the final draft, or could an earlier draft be enough?
Or could even the bulleted outline of concerns or relevant topics be enough, if possible? I'm thinking about like the timing, because sometimes we have information, sometimes we have nothing, and sometimes we have everything.
So being opposed to that would mean that there's concern that the nature of the draft is gonna change. Like, that would be the only output.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if legally we're required for it to be the final version, but yeah, would the EC be comfortable with it being potentially a draft?
Yeah, I sent Taylor the bylaws, so I think he's looking over that now, but you know, we could modify the bylaws, but at the end of the day, I think Title II, and Taylor, you're the attorney, so feel free to add in. Title II only gives the Environmental Commission as a whole to provide the recommendation, not a working group of the Environmental Commission. So Taylor can certainly weigh in on that. But that's my understanding. So Title II would have to be changed by council. And we just went through Title II changes last year. So I don't know how often
Rachel,
they
I'm so
change
sorry.
Title
Where
II.
in Title II are you seeing the?
Yes, I think it's 02-1250. Does that sound familiar? It's the Environmental Commission's Title II and the powers and duties.
Yes, I'm there right now. The exact the report, submitted annual report in writing. Is that what we're discussing?
No, they are talking about recommendations.
Okay.
I think that's earlier on in the powers and duties. And I might have the powers and duties here in this.
The powers and duties are what give us the ability to advise, write memos, write reports, etc. It's actually in our handbook that says it has to be from the whole commission, not just from working groups.
Yeah, so
all
looking at
recommendations,
the
correspondence, or public events must be approved in advance by the entire commission. So it's not Title II that's actually keeping us from doing that. It's our own handbook.
correct. So the handbook is what expressly says the working groups have to be, the working group documents must be approved by the full commission. However, reading Title II, the power itself is delegated to the Environmental Commission. So there has to be a vote of some sort, basically having the commission say, whether that's the commission saying, hey, we approve this working group, right? Because essentially what's happened is the council has said, hey, Environmental Commission, you have to write this report and let us know, right? So they've delegated that authority to the Environmental Commission. So then we're following the bouncing ball, right? And so now Environmental Commission has the bouncing ball, and you can hand it off to one of your working groups, and as long as there is a vote of some sort that says we approve whatever this working group is writing. Does that make sense? As long as the authority is clearly delegated, then we're okay. However, in that last sentence there, all working group recommendations, correspondence, or public events must be approved in advance by the entire commission. I think in advance could give you some wiggle room if you're looking for some flexibility.
Yeah.
I also am giving you kind of on the fly legal advice, and so take that with a grain of salt. But
we are desperately looking for some wiggle room, mostly just because some of this does have to happen very fast in order to get into someone else's packet.
So my suggestion, Taylor, tell me if this is like wildly out of line, could be the Environmental Commission in our monthly meeting says, you know, the ECPC has some things that are probably going to be coming down the pike in the next few weeks. Does the Environmental Commission vote to approve the ECPC to write a memo? And that if they approve that, then that is fine, and the ECPC can send it out, as well as amending our handbook language to say, to make sure that the language is granting a non-specific approval from the EC before a memo goes out. So it's like kind of reaffirming that. Is that possible?
I am always a fan of clarifying language in the in any context, really. I think that I one extra thing I would throw in there, not to be a lawyer about it. I know you. If you could have some sort of like, we approve the memo, we approve the working group to write this memo. And I would even say, like, if possible, give some broad. And I'm not quite familiar what the memo even says or what the memo content is. But if you could have the Environmental Commission essentially say, it says, here are the broad strokes of what will be in that memo or in that report, and we will leave the minutia of writing the actual report and the exact verbiage and everything to that working group. But as long as the overall message and theme is approved by the committee as a whole, that works for me, or the commission as a whole, that would work for me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that's exactly what I was hoping to get.
Yeah,
It's to prevent the appearance of going rogue, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's definitely not what we're trying to do. I guess my follow-up is there specific language that you would like to see? Because if I was gonna propose that we vote to amend our handbook, is there specific language in that section that you would want to see to allow basically what you just described?
Would you allow me to think on that and get back to Rachel? Because when recommending exact language, like recommending words, I mean, my little nerd heart just got excited, right? But I would just need a little bit of time to think about the exact verbiage, if that's okay.
Yes. Okay, well, I think so that this is where my head is at, so let's plan on talking about this next month to say, do we want to have that kind of vote before the EC says, ECPC, this is something that may come up and we approve you writing a memo, blah, blah, blah. And we would potentially change the handbook at that time, so.
Yeah, if we were able to amend it such that we are able as a commission to do that, that would help. That would help us function. That would be very good.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Taylor, for your on the fly advice. We've got it recorded. We are written out. This is great. I do appreciate your input on it. Yeah, wherever we can simplify is excellent. All right, well, I'm gonna pass it over to Matt for this quick handbook update as well.
Yeah, I was gonna propose that we amend the handbook in just above that working group section, quorum determination. As it currently stands, it says a quorum meets, or a quorum means that 50% plus one of the appointed commissioners are in attendance with a minimum of 6 commissioners present. As we have gone quite a long stretch right now without receiving another commissioner, minimum 6 when we only have 8 bodies is a big lift. So I was going to move that we do the, whatever that's called, the de minimis. Basically, we turn that back down to 5, so that it's less likely that we have a panic right before a meeting about whether we need to cancel or not if someone's traveling for work or something.
Yeah, and this is something that we can vote on every single month if we have to. Ideally, we would not change it that often, but because we are so limited in.
We're responding to our circumstances. We are not trying to circumvent anything to make it easier.
Yeah. Is there any discussion or questions that people have about Matt's proposal to move the de minimis to 5? No, 5 people, which means if 5 people are in the same room, it is a quorum for the EC, which means working groups are now limited in that way as well. So working groups that have more than 4 people are now not able to do their thing if they're all, somebody would have to leave.
There's one that one.
So yeah, I'm just moving that we change that number 6 to a number 5. And technically, when someone seconds that motion, we can still discuss it before voting. So thank you, sir.
So Matt motion and Mitchell seconded. Oh, let me put that. Okay, any discussion? Are we ready to vote? Rachel. All right, Rachel, I think we're ready to vote on this.
Okay, let me get my screen ready. I think we're on Adam Martinez,
Yes.
Mitchell Owens,
Yes.
Gary Albright,
I vote yes.
Heidi Brown,
Yeah.
Nadia Kane,
Yes.
Matt Caldy,
Yes.
Adam Vudiker,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Great, thank you for bringing that, Matt, and excited to see all 8 of us at the next meeting. Okay, next thing on the list is elections. This is gonna be a voting topic because we talked about elections, but I'd actually like to suggest, and I think we can vote on this. Rachel, remind me if we need to vote on changing the election dates.
We
But I would-
do,
Okay.
it says February in the handbook, so that's why it's a vote. But is there anything else needed from Taylor?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I don't think so.
No.
Okay. Taylor and I will work together in the coming weeks. We'll figure something out. If there are questions for Taylor, feel free to send them directly to me and I can consolidate them for him. Thank you, Taylor.
Thank you, Taylor. Thanks, Nicole.
Thanks, you guys.
And I need to probably go. Yeah, Jennifer, I gotta go. I gotta check that.
Yeah, of course, thank you, like I said before.
Oh, thanks, Jennifer.
That's okay, Rachel. Please email me.
Thank you so much. All right, for the elections, basically, we've been trying to do elections in February, but so many appointments happen in January. And with the annual plans in place in January and only having a couple weeks under our belts, switching the different officers can sometimes feel like a weird shift. So I would like to recommend that we do our election in June instead, so that we have a few months to pass the sort of to get in the flow of what we're doing for that year. And hopefully there will be more solidified commissioners by that time as well. Yeah, so that's I move that we vote to change our elections for officers to June each year.
Okay, so in the handbook, like for the future, not just for this year until we figure it out.
Yeah, because with the new year and with the changing so many commissioners in January, it just feels like we're constantly like.
June gets us through eco here.
That was right. That was my only point of clarification. So I will second your motion.
Is this motion to modify the handbook or is it just for this year?
Yes.
Modify the handbook? Okay, thank you.
Is there any discussion people want to have about preferring that we do not make this modification, or any thoughts on it?
I think like so many other things, including quorum, if it's something we feel the need to return to, we can. I think it's a good move right now and it may well stick, but it also, depends on everything that's gonna happen in the next year. So I feel generally supportive.
I think Adam Martinez also had a comment.
Yeah, just to clarify that means like current officers would keep their positions until June, right?
Yeah, that would be.
So we would not vote like this month.
Sorry, what was that?
We would not vote this month for like new officers.
Correct. Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
Okay.
That's
Just
actually, I
clarifying.
kind of take it for granted, but that's a really good question.
Yeah, provided our secretary is willing, they would
Yeah,
keep
no,
their role into
Are you
June.
sweating?
We're voting to modify the handbook so that from this year on, unless again modified, it'll be in June instead of February.
Yeah,
That works for me. I just wanted to make sure we were clear.
that's a great question. That's a good question. Okay. I think we're
Other
ready to go.
comments or concerns? Ready for a roll call vote?
Okay, Mitchell Owens,
Yes.
Carrie Albright,
Yeah.
Heidi Brown,
Yeah.
Nadia Kane,
Yes.
Matt Caldy,
Yes.
Adam Fudiker,
Yes.
Adam Martinez.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Awesome, thank you. All right, well, Rachel, we've got you for the tree commission appointments, point on the agenda.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we received a application for the tree commission. I included it in one of the packet addendums, but I also included it here. So the applicant is James Ford. I don't know if James is still present with us. Okay, I took out James's personal information and that is included in the application. So I did take that out, but here is the qualitative part of the application. So I wanted to introduce this to you. So Title II of the Tree Commission gives the EC the power to appoint someone, a member or a non-member of the EC, appoint someone to the Tree Commission. And so that member of the Tree Commission, I believe they have voting powers on the Tree Commission, and then Historically, that person has came to the Environmental Commission as well to report about what the Tree Commission is doing and serving as kind of a liaison between the two commissions. Carrie and Matt might be able to provide some more context on how David Parker served in his position, being in this role. But so I wanted to provide the information to you, and should you want to appoint, you can take a vote.
No.
Stay in the room. I'm actually a little confused about how this works.
Yeah, Rachel, I don't know if I am known of a commissioner, of a tree commission member who's only come to the EC meetings as a tree commission member, so I'm not sure if I remember how that works. Would the term be similar to all the other commissions where it, comes up every 2 years or needs to be approved by the council or the mayor? Is that?
I'm not sure. The person that would know that but just left. Jennifer Crossley probably could have answered that. Let me pull up the Tree Commission's Title II quickly to see if I can quickly find an answer.
Yeah, it's probably in the tree commission rules. Like, for example, on planning commission, we have like an appointee who is appointed by Board of Public Works. So like they serve on our commission just as someone would serve on the tree commission.
Because my understanding was that there's an open spot on the tree commission for an EC member. So I didn't know if someone's applying for the tree commission, I would think that would be decided by the tree commission.
Yeah.
So I found the Title II. Let me try to share my screen here. So many different tabs. Okay, so what we're looking at here is this number 2 section. So appointments. The Tree Commission shall consist of 7 members serving 3-year terms. 2 shall be appointed by the mayor, 2 by the Common Council, 1 by the Bloomington Board of Park Commissioners, 1 by the Board of Public Works, and 1 by the Environmental Commission. So from my understanding, this does not have to be a member of the Environmental Commission. The Environmental Commission is just appointing somebody. I believe most commissions have the clause where you have to be a resident in Bloomington. I think the Tree Commission is the same. So this is what is giving the power to the Environmental Commission to do that.
Gotcha. Okay. And I know that in the application, there's a little description from James on sort of the relevance of this commission for him and what he's hoping to do as that liaison. So we do have James in the room, so we can talk about it. We can, I assume, ask him questions if we have any. We can consider voting on this now, or I assume it would be okay if we consider voting on this next month, if for some reason that the folks are not ready to vote.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Okay.
I know it's a long shot. Do we know if Dave Parkhurst was appointed to the tree commission by the EC or if he had just applied to and been on
I'm not sure. That is before my time, so I'm not sure on that.
Yeah. Mine too, probably. Okay, well,
from my understanding from what Haskell said, so the Haskell Smith, the urban forester, I believe Dave was the Environmental Commission appointee.
do we discuss this application further before or after a motion?
I mean, it can be either, but yeah, and I mean, if you like this to request James to step out while we talk, that's okay. We're obviously on cats. We're available for all the worlds to see either way, but if it makes it a little less direct, that can be okay. Thanks, James. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we haven't done this before, so this is like a really interesting thing to consider, and I think there are questions that we probably haven't even thought to ask about our tree commission.
I think, well, my initial thought was like, I think he would do a really good job, because he took a lot of initiative and is still taking a lot of initiative and clearly is very passionate about these issues. And he's very qualified.
I wish that James had not left the room because I just want to say that I appreciate him applying to do this. I personally would be very comfortable with him being our appointment to the tree commission, and I appreciate him also coming to EC meetings in spite of not being a commissioner here to report back on those monthly meetings. So I think that's wonderful, and I'm supportive of his application.
Before
Before
Adam jumps in, I want to point just a point of clarification too. In any type of appointment set for this position, if there was ever a reason to rescind that appointment, the EC also has the power to do that upon a vote. So you have the power to appoint, you have the power to rescind. Otherwise, this would have to be reappointed every 3 years. So just wanted to make that point of clarification. Sorry to cut in front of you, Adam.
No, you're good. I don't really have any qualms with appointing him for the reasons that the other commissioners mentioned. I just think in the future, should we have like someone on the EC who feels especially passionate about joining the tree commission or is willing to, maybe we should prioritize them, but we don't have anyone like that right now. So yeah, I'm perfectly fine with appointing him.
So that's a good point.
Yeah, I think the bigger issue was that we don't have anyone who can make like a Monday 9 a.m. meeting.
Yeah.
So it's one of those.
Yeah.
It's not that we don't have anyone who's passionate about trees. It's that we have people who are working during those hours. So again, I much appreciate this application, and I agree with your general sentiment that we should give priority to someone within our own commission should they be interested and available for such meetings. But in the interim, I feel happy to support James on this role.
Yeah, I agree.
So I guess I will move that we appoint James Ford as our on to the tree commission.
I second that we vote.
All right, so Matt and Nadia.
Okay. Let's do Heidi Brown,
Yes.
Mitchell Owens,
Yes.
Adam Martinez,
Yes.
Adam Fudiker,
Yes.
Matt Caldy,
Yes.
Nadia Kane,
Yes.
Carrie Albright.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, well, I'm gonna go grab James real quick and.
I can study canon.
James, for what?
Light something, get some like lights bumped around the door.
Great.
Come back. Okay, we'll see if he's back.
Might be the bathroom.
Well, no.
Adam, did you have something to say?
Yes. Our meeting officially ends at 8, right? So if we want to keep going, we'd have to vote to extend the time.
Perfect timing. Okay, so I would like to consider 2 different things. One, extending our meeting by a few minutes and also amending our agenda for things that we can push to next month. Because we do have a lot still on here, but I think there's there's value in moving forward. I would suggest that we extend by 15 minutes and see if we can buzz through this.
Second.
Matt and Mitchell both said second, so you can choose whoever you want to.
Yeah, I was looking to see if there was anything I wanted to remove from the agenda, but I think especially things like working group updates and reports can just be done at light speed. Like I don't see the need to push them back, so I think we'll be all right.
I do want to add that the staff update has, because of just the bylaws, the Monroe County Gardener Fair, we technically need to vote on. The Grandview Elementary, we need to vote on, an Earth Day table registration, we need to vote. So there's 3 votes there. I won't take up any more time while we do that.
Okay, perfect. So we have a motion to vote to extend by 15 minutes.
Okay, so I'll do the vote real quick. Adam Fudiker,
Yes.
Adam Martinez,
Yes.
Carrie Albright,
Yes.
Heidi Brown,
Yes.
Mitchell Owens,
Yes.
Nadia Kane,
Yes.
Matt Caldy.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna move through this. Feel free to be as brief as you'd like. Sustainable Energy Utility Project. Is that something that came from Rachel?
I think so. So this, maybe Matt can also provide clarification. This was the BCOS project that they are working with the O'Neill School with. They had a memorandum and a statement of work. It's pretty long. I think they were just looking for feedback. So if you have feedback, feel free to email me.
Perfect. All right, we're gonna move into working group updates then. Biodiversity Working Group has not met.
However, there is a mayor's monarch pledge item on the agenda that I don't know about beyond what I saw in the packet.
So I signed up for updates about the Mayor's Monarch Pledge. So this is basically our opportunity to, apply to be part of the, here's Monarch Pledge. We can do it between now and March 31. So I wanted to share this with you all in an approved way, so that we can look into if that's something we want to do. I would recommend that we consider, I mean, I think we have it as a vote now, but I would recommend we just plan to vote on it. It's not on the vote. Cool. Let's vote on it next month.
I
It's
do
not
want to
voting.
say the administration is not interested in pursuing this certification at this time. So,
Oh,
you
okay.
know, so that might reduce discussion on that as well. So,
Okay.
okay.
So I'm glad that we shared it, and moving on to the next thing. Eco Heroes. So we have a sponsorship letter that we need to vote on to approve to send. It was part of our conversation at the beginning of the meeting. It's in the packet. I hope you all have had a chance to read it, and I would love to hear any edits you have, or if people are interested in voting on it. I hope you've read it.
To vote on the letter.
Second.
Do you also want to include the flyers in this vote?
Yes.
Ooh, we don't need separate votes for that, okay?
Yeah, okay, so
I
here's the
included it
file.
just as Eco Hero Materials. Sorry, Carrie.
All right, so here are flyers that we're also using to share with the public.
Would you like to amend your motion, Mitchell, to include the flyer?
Yes, I
Eco Heroes
move to
materials.
approve the letter and flyers and the Eco Heroes materials.
And I once again second.
Okay, Mitchell moves, Matt seconds. Thank you for noting that, Rachel.
Okay. Owens, Caldy. Okay.
Hmm.
Matt Caldy,
Yes.
Nadia Kane,
Yes.
Heidi Brown,
Yes.
Carrie Albright,
Yes.
Mitchell Owens,
Yes.
Adam Martinez,
Yes.
Adam Fudiker.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Excellent, thank you.
This is
There's some-
not a voting item, but just one while we're on Eco Heroes. Will it be possible for Fiona to post about Eco Heroes soon so that it can be shared?
If you send
I
me
know that
the,
doesn't
if you send me a
require a
Facebook
vote.
post, I send me a Facebook post and I
Okay.
will get it approved. The press release goes out on Tuesday, I believe. So
Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, there's some more conversations that the Eco Heroes Committee has kind of thought about having, including ideas for what we can do with the live event. We talked about that in the outreach meeting, which I'll talk to in a moment. Rachel, there are a couple of follow-up questions about the live event. So can I email those to you with the Eco Heroes group, and then you share back what the responses are? Just to save time right now.
I believe so. Email me individually, please, and I will get answers back.
Great, sounds good. And then lastly, judging. So when we're getting all these submissions, they start coming in on St. Patrick's Day. The last day is April 7, which is a Tuesday, and we need to have them voted on so that we can tell the winners to come to the Eco Heroes ceremony on the 18th. Ideally, we'd be able to tell them by the 10th. So there is
Is this April?
April, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So there's a recommendation for judging of all the submissions on April 9. It's a Thursday, and it would, I assume, be Rachel, hours that work for you, set up in the planning department where people can come by and just fill out a form saying, this is the one I like for first place for this age group, and just kind of fill that out. It doesn't have to be everyone all at once. Does that work for us to plan on April 9th being the day that people make time for that?
Mhm.
If you're working out of a non-Bloomington profession, does that work for you, or is there something that would work better for you?
Well, what would the hours be?
I think it would be while the office is open, it would just be back in the planning department.
Which is until,
5 o'clock. Yep.
well, I'm not back until 5:30 or 5:45.
Okay.
Yes. So, I mean, like, yeah, as logistics go, technically not everyone has to vote.
Yeah, oh yeah,
I
you
have
don't have to
never-
judge.
You've never, right, so I guess, right, is this okay, or do you want to try to make another carve out?
No, I mean, the only thing that would work would be an evening or a weekend, and that's not worth pursuing for
Yeah.
one person or two.
Rachel's hours, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
if that's,
Yeah, it works for the most people.
I was gonna say, I'm sure I can make it work, I'll swing over on lunch or something.
okay, all right. Adam, does that work? Adam Martinez, does that work okay for you?
Yeah, I can stop by during lunch.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, great, okay,
We'll
thank
have
you so
judges.
much. So we'll plan on the 9th and be overflowing with submissions. Great. Okay, the next group is the ECPC. Rachel, what do you have
Oh
to
yeah,
share?
that's me. Okay. ECPC met in late January, so we've had that special meeting since then. I included the letter that was sent to council after the meeting. Matt provided a public comment during the council meeting. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to read the entire letter because of the 3-minute addendum. So I appreciate ECPC for working on that. I'm sorry it worked out the way it did. Definitely a learning experience for me. And I'm glad legal was able to come and provide some clarifications on how it can work in the future. But that's kind of my update. ECPC did not meet in February for the petitions going to BZA or Plan Commission. So the next meetings are as scheduled in March. Any other updates from ECPC members?
I received an email about the North Grove variance
Oh,
request.
yes. I'm sorry. We did, I included that in the packet as well. I'm sorry, forgot. Was it from Julia Livingston or was it from another individual?
Mine was from Molly O'Donnell.
Okay. So this about the 2511 North Dunn. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was the site that it's a 4-acre site. I think ECPC's seen it. I sent the plans a couple of times. A 4-acre site with about 2.6 acres of closed canopy now. They are planning to put in 15 subdivisions and have several common areas for the riparian buffer and trying to remediate some closed canopy. We did receive, Environmental Commission did receive a letter, or I'll let you all read the letter, but a public comment. It sounded like Carrie also received a public comment.
Yes, so this is the public comment that I got was from somebody sharing about their concerns, naming some of the specific things that are concerning them. And then they have a petition that they would like the support of a commission or at least consideration from the commission. Because I just got it yesterday or last night, so I couldn't work it into this agenda, but I assume, Rachel, if I share it with you, then this is something that we could potentially discuss and vote on. And the ECPC, if it wants to meet and discuss our thoughts on it beforehand, we could do that. As far as timing goes, does that work for us to plan on this for the March meeting?
Jackie can probably provide more comment on the timing on that. I think the BZA meeting, go ahead, Jackie, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, all right. BZA is next week. So that's not great. We're not sure if they're going. If they go next week, then they will go to Plan Commission on March 9th, which means the packet will go out the 2nd or 3rd for that. So we can, I know this is kind of a weird one because I think you guys had like not highlighted it. Now it's like, oh, maybe we do want to read it. We can we should know by tomorrow if it's going to BZA next week. We will know by tomorrow if it's going to BZA next week.
Okay.
So you can let you know, and then you can make speak based on that. Because if it doesn't, then that means you'll have a month because it won't go to Plan Commission on the 9th. They'll both join.
Yeah. Okay.
So my feeling is it would make sense to plan to put this petition that none of us but you have seen yet on our March meeting agenda and packet and et cetera. And ECPC previously met and decided not to write a memo for 2511 North Dunn Street. So we could decide whether we want to stick with not writing a memo or whether we want to write one. I was moved by this letter. I thought it was great, and I know that a lot of the neighborhood has been speaking at those meetings, and that it's a complicated one for other reasons that are non-environmental as well. So I personally still don't feel driven to write a memo, but I appreciate the public's input and reaching out to us as well. And if we get the petition on next month's agenda, I'd be happy to look at it.
Yeah, and that sounds good. And then Rachel, will you just keep us up to speed on if this is actually going to the next one? And
definitely,
if that's the case, then we can decide with these to do with that. Thank you. Okay, light pollution group.
So we had planned to meet in January, but we ended up canceling it due to some of the confusion around how working groups work, I guess. I will probably reach out to people and try to get another one scheduled in March, which will set us up nicely to hit the ground running after Eco Heroes, I think. I had a quick question for Rachel. You
Yes.
mentioned there might be someone with the Parks Department who is interested in working on light pollution in the parks.
Yes.
If we wanted to talk with someone from city staff, would we have to set up a meeting if it was just one of us and therefore we weren't meeting the quorum?
I don't think so. I think one
Okay.
person's fine. Jackie, do you agree?
I'm so sorry.
If one person from the EC and or a working group, just one person wanted to meet with city staff, does that require like any special notice?
Yeah. No.
Okay, you're good, Adam, to meet with people.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that.
Sorry
Yeah.
about any confusion about the working group
Oh.
last month. We've received mixed guidance, so.
No, you're good.
Yeah, that's why I was here, because I know you may not hear that from some of the others, and it's hard on Rachel to like try to explain things. We have been getting completely opposite guidance from legal and the administration, and so then Jennifer's in a weird spot where she's trying to be like, well, this is what legal told us. So we're hopeful, like Jennifer said, they're gonna like come to some sort of actual conclusion soon. Because all the rules, things we told you, that is what they told us. And then just extremely recently, we heard directly from the administration, like, oh, we don't have to do X, Y, and Z. And it's like, that is not what. So it has to be bad for us too. And for Rachel trying to disseminate that information to you guys in a timely manner. We're hoping to have an actual answer soon, and then like just move on and you can craft your groups around that. So we appreciate that. Okay,
Yeah, no,
well, I can, oh, go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, no, I understand. Music for all of us.
Great, well, I'm gonna go ahead and move then to the next group, which is outreach and education, met tonight. Rachel, I have some specific questions from our group that I will email you with, and then if you could respond to the group with their replies, that'd be perfect. Special projects has not met, but we're going to schedule a meeting, which is totally allowed in email, so we'll figure that out. And have an update for you next month.
Yeah.
How about water quality?
I was going to say, because it's dovetails with special projects, I have not scheduled a meeting yet. It's hoping to have one soon, but I heard through the grapevine. And by the grapevine, I mean the guy two desks down from me at work who runs this kind of stuff, was in a meeting and I could hear him talking. Apparently the county has gotten a grant of the type that we are going to apply for. So I don't know the details of it yet. I haven't had a chance to talk to Tim about it yet. But I don't know if that would negatively impact our chances of getting something. And if the county does have something, we should really start getting the right hand to talk to the left hand and figure out what they're doing and see if we can collaborate or anything with it, because water goes through all of that stuff. So yeah, gonna try and figure that out. And once I have more details, I'll try to get something on the schedule and see if we can talk with our stormwater people and figure out who we need to get from the county and to report us to talk about this stuff as well.
What was it for?
Hmm?
What was the grant for?
It would be for EPA 319 non-point source pollution reduction programs.
Awesome. Okay, thank you, Mitchell. All right, well, we're to the staff update. So Rachel, I'm gonna turn it back over to you.
Okay, the first thing is the UDO environmental amendments. We have a landscape update, which I'll cover, and then there's also an update that Jackie will cover. So the landscape update is we are changing the parking lot perimeter landscaping. So we're adjusting this landscaping to reflect what is actually feasible in parking lot areas to address what the intention was, which is to better distinguish purposes such as visual screening and provide landscaping within parking lot areas that are feasible. So we are taking this language, we're pretty much reflecting it what the county has. There's not been finalized language developed, but because things are moving quickly as far as these changes going to Plan Commission and to Council, I wanted to give you just a summary or a quick synopsis of where this is headed.
So what we have now is one, I didn't look this up, I'm sorry, I'm like doing too many things. How many trees is it, Rachel, right now? Do you remember on the perimeter? It's okay if you don't. Hold
I
on,
don't.
sorry. It's one tree, it's very similar, it's like one tree every 3 spaces. So every space is 9 feet wide, or every 4 spaces. Excuse me. But at the county, they just do it by lineal feet. So the thing we've been running into is that our regulation is based on the number of spaces you have total. So that really isn't related to what your perimeter is, and so then we're like, they're getting variances because they like literally can't, they have to be within 10 feet and they can't do it. So we're changing our regulations to be similar to the counties where it's one regulation for the outside and a separate regulation for the inside. As opposed to one that you're just kind of like gerrymandering that. So the actual number, the shrubs, I think the actual numbers are going to be very similar. It's just how we get there. It's gonna be different and it'll be easier, much easier for staff and developers to understand what needs to go inside, which is really kind of important as well. I mean, not as important for the reasons Rachel mentioned, but for the covering of the actual asphalt inside is more important on some of these big plots. See.
And then if there aren't any questions about the landscaping, Jackie can provide the second update.
Okay, so the second thing is, a number of years ago, we changed the requirements for easements on environmentally sensitive areas. So that basically everyone had to do easements if they were doing a project on a site with environmentally sensitive areas. Previous to that, you only had to record the easements if it was in a subdivision. So we wanted to include like large sites that have sensitive areas, we wanted to compel them to record easements as well. What has happened is that we maybe just went too far to that end because we get a lot of small projects now where they are not the kind of outfits that have money to have a surveyor come out and survey an easement. And so like all of the regulations in the easement still apply. We are not requiring them to record the easement. So what the regulation will be changed to is that it will still be for all subdivisions and it will be for all major site plans. So anything that's going to go to plan commission, any major commercial or multifamily site plan will have to do that. Because obviously those types of commissioners do have the money to meet that requirement. So that's.
Acreage.
No, so they're for major site plans, it's there are different thresholds, so over a certain number of units, I believe it's 30 now, it might be 50. You're gonna definitely be a major site plan. If your site is more complicated, the director can send it up and have it be a major site plan, even if you don't have the threshold. If you're over 30,000 additional square feet of non-residential, you're a major site plan. So it's really like the bigger projects will go to plan commission and they will still have to do the easements. And again, the smaller projects, they'll still have to follow those regulations. It just won't be recorded that there's an easement on that site.
So it's recorded easement.
Yes.
It's specific.
Correct. So recorded easements are best case scenario. And that's why we wrote it that way. And some of us were hesitant to change it back. But I think the middle ground, that is what the county does. And I think it does kind of address some of those things we've seen, which is really small projects where people weren't anticipating they were going to have to do the survey and kind of killing some of those projects on accident.
Great, thank you for sharing that update. To continue on, we've got a few different items to vote on because they require registration and fees. So the first one is the garden fair. We talked about doing that. We had interest from Heidi, from Adam M, Matt, maybe me to do the tabling. If we vote to register, then we will need to make sure that there are people there tabling for that event on April 11th. We have next month to plan the details, but I would like to move that we vote to approve registering for and tabling at the Master Garden Fair.
It is at 4, okay, I
Not
could take
exactly.
like a 2 to 4 shift, so.
Awesome.
We're busy in the morning, but.
If we're confident collectively that we can cover it, which it seems like we are, then then I'm in favor of voting.
Do the early shift, just to. Kind of read it.
I mean,
We can, yeah.
Date is it?
April 11th.
April 11th.
It's a Saturday. What is Evelyn's birthday? So I am.
Okay, so I moved and Nadia seconded it.
Okay. Is there an amount that, or is there like a preference on what table spot? I know spots are filling up, so sorry we didn't vote on this last month. But I just want to make sure I'm respecting your all's budget whenever we're getting a table.
Okay, and we would be choosing indoor or outdoor?
Yes. Or single or double space, it looks like.
And so I know it costs a little more, but the indoor just in case, because the other one says rain or shine, so indoor's fine with me.
Okay, do you want a single table for 125? Is that optimal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, if they're out, do you want the double table?
245, it's way more. I would say if they're,
It's more than we need.
I'd say if they're out, we would switch to outdoors.
Outdoor, okay.
Sure.
I will get that set up and let's go for a vote. Let me make sure I'm in the right column. Okay, let's go Adam Fudiker,
Yes.
Adam Martinez,
Yes.
Matt Colby,
Yes.
Heidi Brown,
Yeah.
Carrie Albright,
Yeah.
Mitchell Owens,
Yeah.
Nadia Kane.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Great, thank you.
As we've reached 8:15 and have a couple more voting items, I move that we extend the meeting by hopefully not, but up to 15 minutes.
I'll keep moving this fast, I promise.
Mhm.
Second.
Thank you, Nadia.
Kane. Okay. Nadia Kane,
Yes.
Carrie Albright,
Yeah.
Heidi Brown,
Yeah.
Matt Caldy,
Yes.
Adam Budiker,
Yes.
Adam Martinez,
Yes.
Mitchell Owens.
Yes.
Thank you very much, all. Okay, next item on the list is the Grandview Elementary STEM Night. This is where it's like a ton of tables that are showing different forms of STEM. And in the past, we had the Habitat Connectivity Plan in its previous version. So now it will be amazing. But it is the same night as our currently scheduled EC meeting. Because we need to make sure we're hitting quorum, which at this point would mean up to 3 people could table at Grandview for the 6 to 7:30 window. We can do that. It's an interesting option. I can tell you from personal experience of tabling, our booth was not even close to as exciting as everyone else's. It was fun being there, but we were the boring table for sure. I'm open to us being creative with what we do if we want to table at the Grandview STEM nights, but it's cool to be invited. So I think it's a really fun thing for us to think about. And if we want to do it, then we would need to decide to confirm.
I think that it would be great if it wasn't on the night of our regular meeting, so I don't currently have the appetite to try to also table at that.
Okay. Any other thoughts about it?
Sounds fun.
And it's cool.
Sounds cute.
This is not, I mean, we need 5 people in our quorum at this moment, so it can happen if people want to.
I'm sure. We can move the monthly meeting.
I think at this point, it would probably be pretty hard to move it, just.
Yeah.
Bad idea.
April's got like
Yeah.
spring break and stuff.
Yeah,
It's equal
Yeah, I mean-
here with everything, but yeah.
but if there are 1 or 2 people who want to do the tabling that would like to move that we vote to.
I think technically either way we move to vote. I plan to vote.
Yeah.
Are there people that would want to do it? We need 2, all right?
I would recommend.
Yeah.
I would love to do it.
I mean,
Nadia?
we need to, if we're sure that everyone else can attend our meeting, like I don't want to risk quorum. If anyone else is traveling, then that puts us in
I
a
mean,
really
we
embarrassing
could-
spot.
We might have more members. They're doing interviews, so we may have more
Right.
members at that time.
That's true.
What
I
about a potential member? Would you be interested?
No.
do it.
So.
I would not do it. Are you gonna do it?
No.
Adam
I'm
Martinez?
I'd
Sorry.
be willing to do it.
Okay, well, there's somebody.
Just kidding.
I mean, it's a voting item, so I move that we vote on tabling at the Grandview Elementary STEM night.
So
Oh, quick question. It's free, right? There's not a fee. I didn't remember being-
I think so. Let me check this Google form. It didn't say that there was a cost. This Google form does not say that there's a cost, so I think it's free.
Document.
Can I ask Adam another question? No. Adam, are you gonna do it if we vote to do it? Because we need 2 people.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I've already scheduled to go to the meeting anyway, so I'm free.
We just, you have to register with them.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I really don't like the risk of not meeting quorum at our meeting is why I plan to vote no, but either way, I
just like that it's an opportunity to actually like get hands-on with people and do something.
And talk to them, yeah.
Yeah.
So we can vote on it?
It has moved and seconded, so it's ready for a roll call vote.
Okay, Adam Pudiker,
Yes.
Mitchell Owens,
Yes.
Adam Martinez,
Yes.
Carrie Albright,
Yes.
Matt Caldy,
No,
not Heidi Brown.
You can abstain.
Yes, but I can't be at the table.
it's okay.
That's okay, yeah. Nadia Kane,
We're voting to
Yes.
register.
motion passes.
This is the
All right.
first
Non-unanimous
time
one
in
tonight.
over a
Yeah,
year.
that was thrilling.
Oh, literally since I.
Okay.
We don't have contentious stuff.
Okay, and the
All
last
right.
thing I have is the Earth Day registration. You all will be at Earth Day for the Eco Heroes event anyway, but do you want to vote to have a table there as the Environmental Commission?
I move that we have an EC table at the Earth Day event.
Yeah, second.
All right.
And we'll figure
Okay,
out the logistics of who's where.
Yeah, we have a lot of volunteers for being there already, so
Yeah.
we're ready for a roll call vote.
Heidi Brown,
Yes.
Mitchell Owens,
Yes.
Carrie Albright,
Yes.
Adam Martinez,
Yes.
Nadia Kane,
Yes.
Adam Pudiker,
I want to say no just to do it, but I said yes.
Matt Caldy.
It's thrilling. Yes.
Okay, those are all the staff updates for the evening.
Thank you so much, Rachel.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If I wanted to meet with Adam to talk about like what we would want to do, is that
Yeah, we would bundle it under the probably education and outreach meetings.
Okay.
And it would be something that you would schedule with Rachel and she would send out a notice and then you two could meet and chat away.
But I have a dumb question, Rachel. If two people who aren't on the same subcommittee, why do they have to notice they're not on the same subcommittee?
I don't think I have to notice if they're not on the same subcommittee meeting. However, a lot of people are on the same subcommittee meetings, even if they're
So many of us are in multiple working groups, so even if it's an unrelated one.
That's right.
Yeah.
right. So even if you both are on like the biodiversity meeting, but you're talking about water quality in a separate thing, I would still need to notice it. So
Don't quit. It's changed for them. Don't do it. They won't apply it.
No, she needs quit from the working group.
for a week?
Yeah. Don't do it.
That's good. Just like on that one.
Adam Martinez has a question.
Yeah. Is there going to be an issue with two of us being there talking about environmental issues?
I think
outside of
public
meeting?
events are separate. So I think that's why
Okay.
like Earth Day and like these other
Okay.
Yeah.
events are separate.
Yeah, like the boards and commission celebration and stuff like that. Thankfully, makes it under the wire. All right, okay, well, we're at the report section. If you'd like to pass on your report, feel free to do that. If you'd like to give us an update, we'd love it. We have exactly 8 minutes left, so, tree commission.
That was already given earlier by Jen.
Raise your hand.
Yeah.
I did. I presented at Tree Commission this month. So yes, James covered it. We talked about 2511 North Dunn, and we also talked about the trees being removed on P. Ellis. So I can provide more context on either one of those if there's questions.
Perfect. Thank you. Anything from ERAC?
There is, should I wait?
You can share next month if you'd like.
I'll do it next time.
Cool.
Sounds good. Okay, Friends of Lake Monroe, I don't believe we have anyone attending that. Bicos.
I do want to report on the Becoast one. They had a very similarly packed agenda, but it was a good meeting. They had a presentation on the Grandview Hills Pollinator Garden from their Sustainable Neighborhood Grant last year. It sounds like it went great. We had a capstone presentation. Yeah, I can skip that. They passed a resolution to thank the city and the council for stepping up when SNAP benefits lapsed. And they also advanced to a second reading, a resolution aimed at disabling flock cameras and surveillance. Yep, that's about it.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for the update. We've got MC Iris. Anything you want to share about that, Rachel?
I presented at MC Iris as well. We were talking about how to incorporate remediation methods for ground cover removal. So sometimes we have residents that are trying to convert their turf lawns to naturalized yards, or if they want to do any type of overall turf lawn killing or even yard killing. We just talking more about how to work with residents on how to properly remediate that without triggering enforcement, or even if it does trigger enforcement, how to go about that in a less nuanced way. So again, I'm happy to answer any questions about that. So
Cool. I think as if there is anything that would be helpful for you to keep sharing about that, that seems really interesting and very in line with the materials and all that. So yeah, that's exciting. I'm glad to hear that those are conversations happening. All right, our last report is for Clean Community Program. Anything for that besides aiming at that silver? Great. Okay, any additional commissioner announcements that we'd like to share as we're wrapping up here?
Who could I pester for some of the contact connectivity pledge outreach materials kind of stuff? Because I have some people I'd like to
Yeah.
do a little church table.
you want stickers? We have stickers.
Yes, absolutely. I want stickers.
But they have to sign.
Yes. I'll make them work for the sticker.
Yeah, I think Rachel's got that.
Yeah, I think there's one piece of lit that's good, and then there's stickers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she would,
that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, Adam.
We can figure out a time.
I just want to say, be careful getting home because I heard I don't know where, there's like down power lines in the street somewhere.
Oh,
Some kind of nasty
okay.
damage. Yeah, just keep an eye out.
Cool, thank you.
I know. So
Glad you're home and not on a bicycle.
Oh my god.
Any other announcements from commissioners? All right, well, our next meeting is March 26th. It was moved for, I think, spring break purposes, so it is not the 3rd. It is the 4th Thursday of the month. Please note that. If you cannot attend or you have any reason that you are planning to attend remotely, please let me and Rachel know that just so that we can plan, because if we need to adjust, then we can have that conversation, but for now.
I don't think I can. I can't. I have my family's coming to town for a show at the auditorium for my birthday.
Birthday. Okay, so Nadia is officially not able to attend at the next meeting, so we can have 2 other people miss at this current count, so please be mindful of what you're.
Note that you will be missing 2 in a row by tabling at the Grand View STEM event. Don't miss 3. That's
It's true.
and with that, I motion to adjourn.
Try.